Okay, so this entire video might be a little long, so I don't know how many people actually watch it entirely, but I just figured I'd show y'all just a meal that I may make to eat for dinner. So we're going to start off with coleslaw. I've already bought the pre-cut coleslaw, so we're going to go ahead and add that to the bowl. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and use some Earth Balance mayonnaise. It's vegan. Just go ahead and put maybe 2 or 3 spoonfuls of that. Give it a good mix. If you're thinking to yourself, what does Earth Balance mayonnaise taste like? My best description would probably be, if you're used to mayonnaise, it's probably the closest thing I would consider it tasting to is maybe Duke's mayonnaise, because it has a little bit of tang to it. So it's kind of a cross between mayonnaise and Miracle Whip for me. That's what I think it tastes like anyways. Then you're going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of vinegar. Then we're going to add the last ingredient, which is 1/3 cup of sugar. Then just go ahead and mix that all together. So now your coleslaw is done. After you mix it, just go ahead and place it in your refrigerator. I usually put just pepper on it, and that's the only thing I add to it. So once that goes in the refrigerator, we're going to go ahead and make the potatoes next. We're going to need 3 peppers, and I use 4 garlic cloves, a half of red onion. You're going to need some sesame seed oil, and I got about 7 potatoes here and some carrots. So the first thing you want to do is just go ahead and take your 3 peppers and cut the ends off from them. And then split them down and just put them in your pan. You don't have to put the peppers in, but I just like the little extra kick to it. You could also use bell peppers if you've had them, but I don't have them. And then you're going to want to go ahead and take your garlic, and I like lots of garlic, so I went ahead and did 4. It's going to be your recipe, so you just go ahead and do it the way you want to do it. This is how I do it. And then I'm just going to take the end of the knife and crush the garlic up. Okay, so now after you got it all crushed up, you're just going to want to go ahead and cut it up as small pieces as you can. And I absolutely love garlic. I could never be a vampire. Okay, so we got the garlic all crushed up, so just go ahead and throw that in your pan as well. Now you got your half a red onion. You could use whatever onion you want. I just like the red ones the best. Then just go ahead and chop it. I'm going to go ahead and cut these up, and don't have to be anything fancy. Then you're just going to want to go ahead and throw that in your pan as well. We can go ahead and take some of the sesame oil and just sprinkle some of that in with your vegetables. And then we're just going to give it a good stir. And then we're just going to go ahead and set that aside for a minute while we chop up our potatoes. Before you do set that aside, if you have little carrots, just go ahead and throw as many carrots in as you want. If you have whole carrots, go ahead and cut them up, and then go ahead and give that a good mix. And then we can go ahead and set that aside now. Okay, so now we're just going to want to go ahead and cut up our potatoes. There's nothing really fancy about this. All you're going to want to do is make sure when you are cooking potatoes, they're basically all about around close to the same size, so they all pretty much take the same amount of time to cook. Okay, so I just went ahead and cut mine down, and then I'm going to take the knife and then just chop them all basically same size. Okay, so you're going to do them all in these little cubes right here like this. So now that you got all your potatoes chopped up, you're just going to want to go ahead and throw them in the pan with all your vegetables that you had soaking in the sesame oil. Once they're in, just go ahead and take your hands and mix them all together, or you could use a spoon, whatever you prefer. Then we're going to go ahead and add the seasonings to it. Just put in as much as you like. I don't really have an exact amount that I put in. I just kind of eye it. Okay, we're going to add parsley to it. Just go ahead and cover it all up. Okay, and then we're going to add some paprika. And then we're going to add some cilantro. And then we're going to add some black pepper. Some seasoned salt. I don't put very much of that in there, just a little bit. And then just a tad of garlic powder. And then we're going to put a little bit more of the sesame seed oil on top of it. And then we are going to mix it all together again and put tin foil on it. And you're going to bake this in the oven at 375 degrees. It's going to take anywhere approximately maybe 30 to maybe 45 minutes depending on how small you cut up your potatoes. And I will show you what they look like when they get done. Potatoes been cooking for about 45 minutes. So we're just going to go ahead and check them and make sure they're done. All you're going to have to do is just take your fork and just poke at them, and if they break, then you're good to go. So they're finished, and we're going to go ahead and cover them back up and set them. Just leave them sitting here on the oven. We'll get back to them later. Next, we're going to go ahead and make just some vegetables. You can do this on the oven, or you can just do it in the microwave. I'm doing it in the microwave. You're going to want to go ahead and cook it in the microwave for about 15 minutes. I'm just going to add half a bag of broccoli. A few peas. And then we're going to go ahead and add a half a bag of cauliflower. Then you're going to want to take 1 cup of water, add that, and then the special ingredients would be soy sauce from Trader Joe's. It has half the sodium, and I absolutely love their soy sauce. It's delicious, so just go ahead and add some of that. We're going to add our seasonings, which is we're going to add some cilantro, which I add this to everything just about. I love cilantro. Then we're going to go ahead and add some dill. And then we're going to add some Goya. It's kind of like a Spanish seasoning. And then we're going to add some all-purpose Greek seasoning. and a little bit of parsley, and last but least, just some pepper. And then again, just go ahead and put that in your microwave for about 15 minutes and it will be good to go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and make some yeast rolls. I wouldn't necessarily make these all the time for dinner, but they really aren't that difficult, so I figured I might as well go ahead and make them for dinner tonight. You're just going to want to go ahead and have 1 package of dry yeast, and you're going to need 1 cup of hot water. Just go ahead and add your water and then a package of dry yeast, and then go ahead and give that a little stir. Okay, and then you're going to add in 2 tablespoons of Earth Balance butter. And then you're going to need 2 tablespoons of sugar. And then you're going to need, it calls for 1 egg. So actually you're just going to go ahead and, since this is a vegan recipe, you're just going to add in 1 egg replacer, and you can find that at Whole Foods. And this 1 box right here lasts me forever. So just go ahead and stir all that up together. You're going to want to stir until all the butter is melted, and then you're going to actually want to go ahead and take this and cover it up and sit it in like a dark place for like maybe 10 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and add the rest of the ingredients after that. So it's been 10 minutes. Once you see them little bubbles on there and the foam, it's good to go. And the last step, what you're going to do is you're just going to need 2 1/4 cups of flour, and just go ahead and add that into the bowl. Go ahead and stir that all together. You're just going to form a little ball, and then you're going to go ahead and put this back into a dark place, and you're going to let it sit for probably about 35 to 40 minutes. This recipe is pretty simple. All you really need is time, and if you have time, then you can do it. But that's basically it. Then you're going to go ahead and I will show you the next step in about 35 to 40 minutes. Figured I'd add, once you form it into your little round ball, you may want to make sure you place it into a bigger bowl. I go ahead and add a little flour to the bottom of it, and then you can just go ahead and give it a little twirl, because it's going to need room to grow. So make sure your bowl is big enough for it to do so. Okay, so it's been about 40 to 45 minutes. If you have the time, go ahead and actually let this rise for a whole hour. But it's kind of getting late, so I went ahead and took it out at 45 minutes. Okay, so you're going to want to go ahead and take it out of the bowl. Go ahead and spray some oil on your cupcake tins, and then just take some flour and put it on your surface, and then you're going to want to make a little round ball. Try to preferably make them all the same size, and then you're just going to want to go ahead and put them into your muffin tin. Go ahead and fill this all up, and then once you get it filled, go ahead and place this back into your dark place for like probably about maybe another half an hour. If you have time, go ahead and leave it for a whole hour, but I'm running out of time here, so we're going to go ahead and just leave it in for a half an hour, and then we're going to be ready to put it in the oven. And best of all, the oven, it's going to go on 425, and it's only going to take 10 to 11 minutes to cook these. So basically they'll be done real quick, and the amount of time that you spent doing this will be well worth it because they're absolutely delicious. Anyways, I will show you what they look like when they have risen in about a half an hour, 35 minutes. About 25 more minutes, and that's going to be good enough for me because I'm running out of time. So you're going to go ahead and put this in your oven at 425 degrees, and again, it only takes 10 to 11 minutes. So it's a pretty easy process. So I will show you them when they are finished. These rolls are done. They're finished, so you're just going to want to go ahead. You can either leave them in here or just put them in a bowl. It's just easier to do this. Anyways, that took about 11 minutes, and there you go. And they're absolutely delicious. They smell very good, and they're going to taste good too. It was well worth the wait. We're going to have chicken scallopini. It's by Gardein. You can find it in Whole Foods. So we're just going to go ahead and eat one of these with our meal. So you're just going to want to go ahead and take a little bit of milk and put your Gardein. This is kind of like chicken is what it's supposed to be, fake chicken. So I'm going to go ahead and soak that in there for a few seconds and just set that to the side. And then you're going to want to take flour, and we're going to add some onion powder to that and a little bit of oregano, and then we're going to add some parsley, and of course cilantro, because I love cilantro, is good. And then we're going to add a little bit of pepper. Well, actually a lot of bit of pepper. You can add salt to this if you want to, but I'm not a salt eater, so if you can tell, I don't add extra salt to anything. So there we go. So you're just going to want to go ahead and give that a little mix, and take your chicken scallopini and flip it over and add it to your flour and just coat that nice and well. Go ahead and get a frying pan and set our burner on medium high, and then just go ahead and add some olive oil. And then just place your chicken scallopini into the pan and let it cook. It's been cooking for a while, probably about maybe 2 minutes. I turned the heat down on medium, and we're just gonna let this cook, and probably for about total on one side it's gonna be 5 minutes in total. So for about 3 more minutes on this side, and then we'll go ahead and flip it. So it's been cooking for a total of 5 minutes on one side. So we're just going to go ahead and flip this over to the other side and allow this to cook for another 5 minutes, and then that will be ready and you will be able to eat it. We've cooked this for a total of 10 minutes, 5 minutes on each side. So we can just go ahead and remove this now and place it on our plate. We got our chicken scallopini. That's done. We got our broccoli and our cauliflower and our peas are done. And our coleslaw is done. And I also am having some black olives and some jalapeno peppers and some green olives and some pickles. And we have our yeast rolls and our potatoes. And so we are ready to eat. So there you go, guys. I just basically made this video for somebody that might be starting out and really don't know what they're going to have for dinner. I know when I first started, I had no idea what I could eat. It seems like a lot, but it really didn't take all that time. The longest process was, as you could see, was the yeast rolls, and that's really just a waiting thing. And all, it only takes 11 minutes to cook them. So basically, that was it. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm sure most of you haven't watched the entire thing, but for the ones that have, thank you all so much for watching, and if you try this, I hope you enjoy. And let me know what you think.